Good morning. Welcome to Orange City Council. Today is November 14, 2023. Call to order, invocation, and pledge of allegiance. Mary McKenna.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and thank you for all of your gifts. During this Thanksgiving season, we ask your blessing on each one of us as we travel and gather with our families. We know that we are thanking you for all of your blessings. We know that you are in control. We know that the best is yet to come. For our families, for this city, for all the people present here today. We ask your blessing on us at this meeting. We ask that we make decisions that are with you in mind and with you in our hearts. Make us be servant leaders. We thank you for all that you have done for us, and we look forward to all that is yet to come. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 3, a motion finding the advanced posting and notice requirements of Article 8.1200 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Orange, Texas have been met in relation to all minutes and pending ordinances and resolutions on the agenda, and that the reading of such items be confined to the captions as are agreed upon by the ordinance and resolutions. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mrs. Hennigan. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Number 4, citizen comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not the item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for each speaker. Your comments are appreciated, as the Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to respond to items not listed on the agenda. Your comments will be duly noted by the council and forwarded to the appropriate department for prompt consideration. A member of the audience that desires to speak during the City Council's consideration of any specific agenda item is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. First, I have, is it Joyce? Jobert? Jobert? Hi. If you'll come to the podium and state your name and address, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. I have a Texas drawl. I talk slow, so I don't.
That's okay.
You're not supposed to be here. My son is supposed to be here. This is his project.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's my son. I told him I would do it for him.
Yes, ma'am.
I talked to the gentleman here a couple of times, and my son, he's interested in starting a assisted living facility.
Give us your name and your address.
My name is Joyce Preston Jobert. My address is 1990 Orange, Texas.
Thank you.
The problem right now is, as far as zoning goes, we're not zoned for a group home. And we just need the permission from the city council to start this assisted living facility. And if you wanna know, and as far as zoning, he told me it's a semicircle, there's plenty of parking, there's no traffic, and it shouldn't be a restriction or anything, it's on the corner. But why do we need an assisted living facility? My father's 92, I retired from hospice. We have one nursing home here. It's hard taking care of an elderly person. My mother passed. I have several nurses in the family. I have a sister that manages the nursing home in Beaumont, which I'm gonna coach her. I've already approached her about it. But that's what I wanted to approach you about, assisted living facility. We were not zoned for it, but we need the permission to do it. We need that here. Taking care of an elderly person is taxing, it's a job. And I want my elderly people, like I say, I have my father, he's 92. I want him to enjoy his last minutes here. And I don't want him somewhere where he's gonna be tied in the wheelchair. Nobody's gonna pay attention to him, nobody's gonna talk to him, nobody's gonna visit him. I just want his last days, even if he don't remember, I believe they remember something. I just want it to be memorable, and I want him to go out with a bang, and I want him to be happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Chris Smith?
Good morning, everyone. I'm here regarding the agenda item that's for the executive session regarding 1204 New York and 504 Moss. I'm aware that you guys got some emails over the weekend regarding this issue. I represent Terrell and Irma Bryant. They're the owners of 504 New York. These property owners are right next to each other, have a shared property line. On the agenda today is your decision to what to do about this. The city has a right of way, evidently, over these parties' shared property lines. I wish I could approach you. The city has prepared a map, which you may be able to look at in your executive session, that shows the common border in the red area is the city's right of way. The problem here is that there is a driveway that connects the Bruce's property to the street that runs across our folks' property. It's undisputed that the Bruces own their side of what they own, and that the Bryants own their side of what they own. Surveys, the property lines clear. But what they're fighting over is a driveway that we say trespasses across our property, and it's the only way they can get to their property right now. They're not landlocked. They have road access. They've just been using this driveway that goes across our client's property. So this was a fight they were having, and then it was discovered that the city had a right of way, by coincidence, or, you know, they permitted Mr. Bryant to build a fence out there, and through some of this research, they figured out the city has a right of way. I don't think the city knew they had a right of way. I think they discovered it along the way. So it's not something the city has maintained or even really knew they had. Right now, it's just something that's right over the middle of these people's legal dispute. So what the city had proposed by letter to both parties was, why don't you let us vacate this right away, just get out of y'all's legal problem? And they offered to build Mr. Bruce a new driveway, probably, I don't know, 10 or 20 feet over on his property line, which we're in agreement with. We think it's a great idea. We think it solves the problem. His side of the property can be his side, and our folks' side can be their side, and he'll have a driveway, probably better than the dirt road that he's using now if the city builds it. He says it's gonna devalue his property, but I think it would make it more valuable if he had his own road access to the land that doesn't cut across someone else's property. He's got numerous areas where he can build the driveway. There's a road in front of his property. He does not landlocked. So at any rate, we're just here to express our opinion that the city's idea to vacate the right of way and to build Mr. Bruce a new driveway is something we would agree with. We think it's a good idea. If the city doesn't vacate its right of way, there's probably going to be a legal battle between these two folks, which the city will find itself in the middle of. One way to get those witnesses, or maybe as a party defending their easement. So as far as the taxpayers are concerned, I would think the city would just want to get out of Dodge and let these people fight. I would do that even if Mr. Bruce won't let y'all build him a driveway. Let him build his own driveway. If he won't, the city will perform. There's no easement. He thinks he has one. It's a complicated legal question. It's nothing you guys can decide. That's for the court. But we are agreeing with the city's proposal to vacate that right away. Because it would be better for all of us.
Thank you. That's all I have on the list. Is someone else that would like to? Okay. Your name and address, please.
My name is Laura Bruce. I am the owner of 1204 Moss Avenue in Orange, Texas. First, I'd like to address some misconceptions. That has always been an easement. Our properties are not touching. It is separated by the easement which runs down the canal. This has been in place, let me just read my list, I don't get off the list, but I'm here today to address the proposed abandonment of the easement from campus. It is the access to my property and has been for the last 60 years. Anyone that is familiar with the area knows that that has always been the driveway. It was never Mr. Bryant's property or the person before him. It has always been an easement, whether the city recognized it or not. And up until recently, we have been taking care of the driveway, maintaining it, paying for rocks and leveling. We purchased this property because the easement allowed people to bring in vehicles along boat trailers. Any changes to the current layout of the existing point of access would degrade my property value. We would have to remove a very large oak tree, which is of great expense. We would then have to snake the vehicles through the turns. It just becomes a disaster. That's not why we purchased the property. It was existing as an easement by prescription. Mr. Dunaway has a letter stating so. We spoke to him. We've never had an issue in the past with the access until Mr. Bryant, who does not reside full-time at 504 West New York, wanted to impede my ingress and egress to the property with fencing holes, trenches on the easement. I don't understand why the city would abandon me and take away my right-of-way and cost the taxpayers and myself needless money to install a new driveway when something that has been in place for the last 60 years has worked seamlessly. And all of a sudden, he just wants to take possession of this driveway for no other purpose but to destroy my business. We will gladly continue maintaining the easement as we have been, but for it to be deeded, auctioned, abandoned to anyone else when the only use it serves is access to our property would cause immense harm. If the city decides they need to sell, we ask for the first right of refusal. If not, our legal counsel has advised us to ask you to refrain while we seek more expertise counsel in this area, but I sincerely will not. Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay, I'm going to close this section of citizen comments. Moving on to city announcements. Any city staff announcements and events?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm glad to be bringing you some holiday cheer on this drizzly morning. We have Thanksgiving coming up next week, as we all know, and then Christmas following shortly behind, so we're busy getting ready for the holiday season. First up, we will have a City Hall Christmas holiday party at City Hall on Thursday, November 30th from 5 to 7 p.m. We will have Santa and Mrs. Claus there for Santa stories and sweet treats. And so Santa will come and read some Christmas stories to the kids. We'll have some coloring books and activities for the kids to do with some cookies and hopefully some milk and just to come and have some Christmas spirit for that. Then, leading in, that will take us to December 2nd, which is our gumdrop shop that we've done for the past couple of years. It's similar to the Art and Park, where there's vendors and food and activities and music and everything at Stark Park. And so people can stroll through Stark Park, go shopping for some unique Christmas gifts while they listen to festive music and eat some good food provided by the food vendors that are there. And then also, that leads us into the downtown Christmas for Orange, or Christmas downtown for Orange. We've actually had some organizations all come together at the Kiwanis Club, the city, of course, the Stark Foundation, the Chamber, the Heritage House Museum, and Lamar State College Orange to create a whole day of Christmas in Orange. And you have your schedule in front of you, and so it starts at 7:30 in the morning with breakfast with Santa at Spanky's. Then it goes into the gumdrop shop, so everyone can come on down to downtown.
So is this our first time to do this, make this all a
All
one-day
together,
event?
yes. So we're excited to have so many involved and make it an overall Christmas event. So then after gumdrop shop, or during some of this, the Stark House will offer some Christmas tours. There will be pictures with Buddy the Elf. We'll be walking around Stark Park. And then the Stark Museum of Art has an event as well. Then following that all will be the 74th annual Kiwanis Christmas Parade. It's the Toys That Made Us is the theme. And then immediately following that, there'll be a Christmas lighting, Christmas tree lighting, pictures with Santa, snow in the park, and we'll show a Christmas movie for the kids in Stark Park. So once everybody comes out for the downtown Christmas, this will be a fun one. Everything will be lit up, and it's just gonna be really, really festive Christmas event. So hope to see everyone there.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we should share all this on our social media, get everybody out and taking advantage of it. Okay, moving on to number 6, presentation. Presentation by representatives of Texas Department of Transportation, TxDOT, regarding an update on Interstate 10 construction projects.
Mayor and Council, Bryce Broussard with TxDOT makes his way down. We did ask him to come down and kind of give us an update on what's going on with Interstate 10 and the city.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. As City Manager Coons mentioned, my name is Bryce Broussard. I am the Orange Area Engineer for the Texas Department of Transportation. I oversee Orange County, Jasper, and Newton counties for our district. Just want to share, first of all, from the letter that was sent, my frustrations as well with the project, with the length of the project, and the ongoing. So just want to make that clear. But so as you all know, elephant in the room, I-10 has been under construction since May 29th of 2014 for the first project. The corridor right now serves 2 projects. The original project was led on February 4th of 2014, and the second project was added September 16th of 2020. So the original project saw unprecedented issues that I think back when it was led in 2014, no one could have predicted, no one could have seen. So just to bring you down through some history on that, so in the spring of 2016, immense floods hit southeast Texas and Orange, especially along the Sabine River on I-10, flooding Interstate 10 and shutting it down. So in those instances, when I-10 is shut down, construction again cannot take place. In October of 2016, it was found that water and sewer was not accommodated for the Travel Information Center right there at the state line. That went through a engineering Corps of permit process that we had to reestablish, and so that was an addition no one could have seen, an added cost. But then in January of 2017, a sheet pile wall to stabilize the main lanes of Interstate 10 was redesigned due to the protected wetlands there. The original plan showed the toe of the bottom of the embankment slope to be in the protected wetlands. So we had to redesign for a sheet pile wall, and that added time and an immense cost. And so then later, earlier in 2017, of course, was Hurricane Harvey. That no one could have foreseen the amount of rain that we saw during that event and the issues that it caused. Always unpredictable. I know it's like Christmas, it comes around every year, but you can never plan for that in construction. And then in early 2020, we had a discovery of a fiber optic line right there at Little Cypress Bayou, and it gave risk to drive sheet pile wall for the coffer dams to build the bridge, the substructure of the bridge. And then during all that, the second project hit. Those unfamiliar, there's projects in the middle from State Highway 87 to Little Cypress Bayou, and then the second project comes in and builds the bridges and widens the pavement from Adams Bayou all the way Sabine River Relief Bridge and then to the state line. That project has been ongoing and is on schedule to some extent. Early on, we had to do a core permit for that one, but everything after that has been on schedule. Right now, the corridor, the I-10 corridor, I call it, to be completed is 2026. So the very first project will end 2025, but we are disputing the 2026. It was brought up on a schedule that was released. There were some discrepancies with that schedule. It's not approved, but that is what the time shows, but we are disputing that again. So that's all I had. I don't know if there's any questions or...
You said we are disputing that. Could you explain what you mean by that?
Each month, the contractor submits a schedule. So we go through that, we look at it, we have a consultant to go through and look at the schedule. Make sure nothing's been moved, nothing's changed, nothing's been added from the original baseline to now. So right now, we are looking into that.
So the contractor is disputing the timeline given by the state?
Well, no, we're disputing the timeline that they've given us.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody got any things? All right, thank you very much, appreciate you. Mike, have anything?
Okay. And I'm not sure if our cameraman is gonna wrap it up after this, before we move on. Our Channel 12 fellow.
Yes.
It'd be good times, we wanna pause so we
Okay.
can get out. Right, I'll go and stay with us and get started.
Thank you, sir.
Ask them to come back to the other
Okay, we'll move on to B, report on Riverside Pavilion driveway improvement project. Good morning.
So the city held a pre-bid that took place, last Tuesday, November 7th, for this project. The bid opening cutoff is this Thursday, November 16th at 2:00 p.m. Once the bid is awarded and the contractor is mobilized, we expect a 30-day completion for this project. It is anticipated to be completed by, before the Mardi Gras festivities take place in February.
Any questions? Comments?
So there will be a time when, we're gonna close the gates completely out there, so we will not have access to the public, because obviously we don't want them to both sides.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
We're moving on to number 7, consent agenda. A September 26, 2023, Orange Economic Development Corporation meeting minutes. We have oh, okay. Okay. B, October 2024, October 24th, 2023, regular city council meeting minutes.
Motion?
Okay, that's a second. Sure. Okay. Motion by Mrs. Hennigan, a second by Mr. Bailey. Mrs. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Mr. Charles? Mrs. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yeah.
And I as well. Okay, moving on to number 8, ordinances. A, first reading, consider an ordinance of the City of Orange, of the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, amending the Orange Code of Ordinance Appendix A, Article 2.000, building and construction-related fees in its entirety, establishing an effective date, providing for a severability clause, repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance and other matters. Mr. Benoit?
Good morning, Major Pro Tem Birch, council members, citizens of Orange. I come before you today to propose a rate increase to our permit fees and changes to Appendix A of our Code of City Ordinances. We believe the proposed fee increase is reasonable and necessary. It was back in 1999, the last comprehensive review of permit fees was done, which established our existing permit fees of today. A slight modification was made to the ordinance in 2019, to comply with House Bill 852, which changed the way that a municipality could calculate permit fees for a residential structure. The bottom line to this request is that the cost of issuing permits and inspecting of code compliance has significantly increased since 1999. Considering personnel expenses, vehicles, office equipment and supplies, software we use now for electronic permitting, as well as the maintenance of the building that we operate in. The way we did this, we analyzed permit fees charged by other local communities in Orange County. We looked at Beaumont, Port Arthur, as well as other Texas municipalities around the 18,000 to 19,000 population level. We looked at those being somewhat similar to our city when it comes to population. We found our permits to be extremely low. The largest increase to this change will be in our base permit fee for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing permits. Our current base fee is $15. We're looking at increasing that $5 to make it $20 for the base permit fee. This is still less than our neighboring communities, whereas there is anywhere between $35 and $40 for their base permit, and then everyone adds on for the extras. Other flat rate permits fees were increased accordingly, and we created fees for things that we did not have, such as generators, solar systems. Those things we had never accounted for back in 1999. Another change we're proposing is the way we calculate our commercial business fees. We're looking at trying to get those aligned with the residential permit fees. We're based it on square footage versus our previous tier system that was based on evaluation. So someone would come in and say, I'm going to do this project, it's going to cost me $100,000, and that's what we would base the permit on, without any regard to the size of the building, the complexity of the building. So we're looking at doing this on a square foot basis, one for the building, any vertical construction, and then another for any impervious surface such as concrete and driveways. This will simplify the process for everyone. We also considered the upcoming Texas House Bill 1922, which will become effective January 1st of 2024. This bill would actually abolish our permit fees on the 10th anniversary date of the adoption. So with permit fees being adopted in 1999, I think this bill will negatively impact the city of Orange. So city staff is requesting public consideration of this permit fee rate change to become effective January 1st, 2024. Subject to your questions, this concludes my comments.
I have some questions. All the basic fees that you mentioned, I'm good with. When you switch to the commercial one, you go from a base rate of $1,660 on a $500,000 project and another $2 for every 100,000 above that. So just to take, for example, a possibility of a dance studio going in, it's 10,000 square feet, $1 million project. Right now, the building permit would be $3,600 flat out for what they would start today. But if they go by your new rules per square foot, the building permit would be $15,000. Then you want another 50% of that for plan review fee, which is $7,500, and then 40 cents a foot for paving, which brings that $3,600 permit up to $34,500. That's a tenfold increase on that building permit. I understand we need to get our fees up,
Yes,
but if Buc-ee's were to come, the biggest Buc-ee's is in Tennessee. If they were to try to come with that same size Buc-ee's here, their permit would be $328,000 as opposed to possibly $38,000, $40,000 for the permit. I'd like to table this and maybe we can have a workshop where y'all can explain this, where we're getting numbers for, where we can not scare away businesses with these high numbers.
yes, sir.
And I did go compare, as you did, other cities. So right now, if the dance studios started, you would charge them $3,600, give or take, for the permit. If you went to Beaumont, the dance studio, right now, today, would be $3,550 if they started today. But if we go with this new one, we'd look at $34,500 for a building permit for up and coming, starting family business. That's, to me, a little excessive. So as for today, I would like to recommend we table it. Maybe y'all can invite a couple of council members into your meeting, and maybe we can come up with some happy medium that does increase the permits, but not to that degree.
Yes, sir.
Is that? Is it a motion? Is it a motion? Motion.
Second?
A motion for what?
Motion table. And with the possibility of a meeting.
Okay, y'all made a motion
Motion and a second.
To table it?
Second.
You make the motion?
All right.
Motion.
Okay, a motion by Brad, a second by Caroline Hennigan.
So on, as we read the law though, so on January first, we're not able to issue, fees for permits.
Okay. For the motion.
Yeah, just so.
I appreciate your hard work on all this, it's just that the numbers for me aren't working right.
Okay. So we got a motion and a second, Mr. McKenna,
Aye.
Mr. Childs,
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan, Mr. Brady, aye, aye as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, first reading, consider an ordinance amending certain portions of Appendix A, Section 11.100 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Orange, Texas, pertaining to utility rates and charges.
Representative, council, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be here. I'm bringing forward to you the first reading of the ordinance in regards to the water and sewer rates, particularly focused on single-family residential units. The first one that we're reading right now, section 11.100, is for water. Our current process for providing a tap for a single-family residential home is they come to our customer service office, they request a tap, that goes to our field crews who investigate the situation and check a number of boxes on a checklist to derive a fee that is sent back to customer service. The customer needs to come back to the customer service desk, pay the fee, and then we begin the process of making the actual tap for the resident. Under this ordinance, we're going to make a change to that and make it a flat fee rather than a checklist fee. That flat fee would be $500 all inclusive, so the customer would come to the customer service desk, request a tap, pay their fee, and then we could get started on the tap immediately at that point in time, versus doing any of the field investigative work or the administrative work in the background before the customer makes any payments. We see that this should reduce our connection times by somewhere around 5 to 10 days. It allows the customer to come to the customer service desk one time, pay their fee, and be expecting that to happen in a reasonable period of time. And it also reduces internally our administrative costs, as well as those costs that we have right now in the process back and forth between the field and the customer service office. The fee structure for all other taps remains the same. So this ordinance will only affect single-family residential units. And our proposal is to have this go into effect January 1st. I don't entertain any questions.
Questions?
Yeah, we'll make a motion.
Have a motion?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. Brady. Mrs. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Brady? And I as well. Thank you, Jack. C, first reading, consider an ordinance amending certain portions of Appendix A, Section 11200 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Orange, Texas, pertaining to utility service rates and charges. Mr. Jack.
So this is a continuation of the first ordinance that you just considered. This is for the sanitary sewer connections. The first part of it, this actually has a second part. We'll cover the first part. Again, sanitary sewer taps are done the same way as the water taps. And so this ordinance does the same thing. It establishes a single all-inclusive fee for single-family residential homes of $450. The customer can come to the customer service desk and pay that in a one-time visit. By doing this, we anticipate, again, the connection times can be reduced to 5 to 10 days. The customer can do it all in one trip, not make multiple trips to City Hall. It also reduces our administrative time. Fee structure, again, for sanitary sewer connections outside single-family units will remain the same. However, in this particular ordinance, there is a second part. That second part has to do with our sanitary sewer dump station on Simmons Drive. Currently, trucks will pull up and we will estimate the volume that is in the truck. The driver will be told what the volume is, and the driver will provide us tickets, payment tickets, to pay before they dump their sewage into our station. What we are seeing is that as a result, we're having quite a number of vehicles visiting the pump station every day. And many of them are half full, if not less. So what's happening is we're seeing a delay in people trying to dump loads, they're having to wait because there are so many vehicles there. Our proposal is to shift to a process that is used in most metropolitan cities. That is, when the vehicles come to the station, they are billed for the volume of the truck's capacity, not what they have on board, because we are simply estimating what they have on board. So as the driver would come in, whatever the capacity of that truck is, which is listed on their manifest, that's the number of tickets that they would provide us for payment. And then they would dump whatever they have on board and move along. There's some distinct advantages to this. It eliminates us estimating what's on board. They'll just simply pay what the capacity of the truck is. It reduces the daily deliveries at the station, which in turn will speed up the amount of time that the drivers will do their dump and leave, which gives them more time on the road to make collections. And it simplifies ultimately our billing process. We may be in a position in the future that we will not have to use the tickets. We can use billing system against the manifests and get those dollars up front from those folks in the future if this process works through. So again, this is for the sanitary sewer. We'd like to implement these two changes: single family unit, single all-inclusive fee, and a change in the billing to use the capacity of the trucks come January 1st of 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. Do we have any comments or questions? No? Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Hennigan, second by Mr. Childs. Mrs. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And I myself. Okay. D, first reading, consider an ordinance of the City of Orange, Texas, authorizing the suspension of the effective date for an additional 90 days beyond the effective date proposed by CenterPoint in connection with its statement of intent to increase rates in the Texas Division, filed on October the 30th, 2023, authorizing the hiring of lawyers and rate experts, authorizing the city's participation to the full extent permitted by law at the Railroad Commission of Texas, requiring reimbursements of municipal rate case expenses, finding that the meeting complies with the Open Meetings Act, making another finding and provisions related to the subject, and declaring an effective date. Mr. Pence?
Council, again, this is one of those recommendations from the law firm that we suspend this so they take a little longer to look at it. Just keep in mind, this will require a second reading by December 4th, which means we propose next Tuesday. We have a very quick special call meeting here at 9 a.m.
Okay, so no action on this.
No, we do need to, we need to do this twice.
Okay.
This will be the first reading.
All right, so do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mrs. McKenna. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Charles?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey? And I as well. Okay, moving on to 9 resolutions, final reading. Consider a resolution approving an EDC infrastructure grant agreement with BCS Orange LLC, Take 5, 3020 North 16th, Orange, Texas, 77630, in an amount not to exceed $200,000. First reading, October the 24th, 2023.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Like Mayor Pro Tem said, this is the final reading for this project, the Take 5 project. Currently, there are a couple of structures on the property that will be demolished to build this new project. The location of the project is over kind of near I-10 on 16th Street. There is Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Whataburger, Whitewater, Dollar General, and then will be the Take 5 project. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Every time I pass by there, I picture how nice that's gonna look. I'm excited about it.
With the construction starting on some of the other projects.
Mhm. Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Hennigan, second by Mrs. McKenna. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs? Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
And I as well. Thank you. B, consider a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, releasing properties from the extraterritorial jurisdiction, ETJ, of the City of Orange and establishing an effective date. Mr. Knox?
We told you we'd be back with this.
This is a petition to release 7 properties from the ETJ. The properties are here, which is here, and the others are up here in this area. So they're fairly far north, and we don't provide them with water, sewer service, or anything like that right now. But under the new state law, then people in the ETJ can request release from the ETJ, but there's certain requirements that they have to meet, and this petition meets all those requirements.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, we have a motion?
Motion?
Second. Motion by Mrs. Hennigan, second by Mr. Bailey. Mrs. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And ayes myself. B, consider a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, releasing properties from the I just did that one. Let me go to C. Consider a resolution of the City of Orange, Texas, releasing properties from the extraterritorial jurisdiction, ETJ, the City of Orange, establishing an effective date. Mr. Knox?
This is a petition to release 1 property up on the far north end of the ETJ in Newton County, and it meets all the petition requirements.
Okay. We have a motion?
Second?
First, motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mrs. Hennigan. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms.
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey? I myself. D, consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a permission agreement with the Nelda C. and H.J. Lecter Stark Foundation of the fiber optic project. Mr. Jack?
Yes, Council. This agreement is to support the Stark Foundation in expanding their internal communication systems from the Stark Museum over to Shangri-La. They've had some, they'd like to improve those internal communication systems, place them within the city right away through a drilling contractor. To do this requires an agreement with the Stark Foundation in regards to the maintenance of those facilities. We have reviewed their plans, we find them acceptable, they're ready to go. Staff recommends approval of this agreement.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
A motion by Mrs. Hennigan, a second by Mr. Childs. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And I myself. E, consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute change order number 2 with Contractor Incorporated for the wastewater treatment plant clarifiers rehabilitation. Mr. Jack?
Yes, Council. We are in the process of rehabilitating our clarifiers at wastewater treatment plant. VCI, to make it easier, is doing that work for us under about $1 million contract. As they've been working on one of the clarifiers, and we drained the clarifier, under the water we found structural damage due to corrosion of some of the metal that exists there. This change order will repair those steel structural elements while we have the basin drained, so that we do not have to drain it again. The change order is for $8,041, which is less than 1% of the original contract. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
A motion by Mrs. McKenna, second by Mr. Bailey. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And I myself. F, consider a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orange selecting an engineering services consultant to assist the city in its application and administration of a contract, if awarded, from the Texas Water Development Board, TWDB, for the 2023 Texas Flood Mitigation Assistance, FMA Grant Program. Mr. Jackson.
Yes, Council. This program, it provides grants through the Texas Water Development Board for flooding and to deal with those issues. We are in the process of applying for some of those some of those funds. In order to do so, we need an engineer of record on board to assist us with the application process and to do design of construction plans if awarded. We have gone through the professional procurement process, and from 2 firms we have selected through competition, Arsenault, Wilson and Cole, given the professional qualifications during both the proposal and interview stage to support us with these endeavors for the flood management assistance program. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Shad. Do you have any comments?
I'll make a motion, we accept that.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mrs. Hennigan. Mrs. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey? And I myself. 10, discussion action. A, consider a motion approving action taken by the Orange EDC in the form of a motion of intent approving an EDC incentive with Insane Chicken, 1602 West Hart Avenue, Orange, Texas, 77630 for the eligible infrastructure improvements in an amount not to exceed $200,000 for the purpose of economic development. Ms. Rabbit?
Good morning. So as Mayor Birch said, at the EDC meeting, there was some action taken to approve the $200,000 for the purpose of economic development. This will be used for some infrastructure related items such as concrete. A big thing that they will have to do is to get some of the infrastructure to their site. They will have to do a cut across the street. Of course, they'll need some plumbing and electrical and things like that for their facility, but we're excited to speak about Insane Chicken. It's just to the south of Walgreens, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you. So the word is out now.
Yes.
All right, do you have any questions or comments? Okay. Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Hennigan, second by Mrs. McKenna. Mrs. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey? I myself.
Thank you.
Thank you. B, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the City of the Orange Economic Development Corporation financial report of the quarter ending September 30th, 2023. Mrs. Ito.
Yes, so this is the EDC's financial summary report that I presented earlier at the EDC board meeting. Just to recap, unassigned is about 1.3 million as of September 30th. Y'all wanna go over it again? We can, or?
Thank you. Do we have any questions or anything?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Hennigan, second by Mrs. McKenna. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey? And I myself. C, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the Orange Economic Development Corporation investment report for the quarter ending September 30th, 2023. Ms. Ito.
So this is the EDC's investment report, and their total cash and investments as of September 30th was a little over 4.4 million. The CD did renew at First Financial Bank at, we got a better interest rate, 3.15, up from 0.80, so, we're taking advantage of all the increases in interest rate.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mrs. McKenna. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And I myself. E, consider a motion approving the newly created position of Deputy Director of Finance position for the Finance Department at job grade 33.
We missed 10D. If you don't mind going back.
Oh, okay. So just go back to D?
Yes, sir.
Okay. D, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the city's quarterly investment report for the period ending September 30th, 2023. Ms. Ito.
Right, so this is the city's investment report, and at September 30th, the city had cash investments of a little over, well, almost 34.5 million. Our annual rate of return, our average rate of return was 4.97, which is really close to our benchmark, which is, our benchmark is the 6-month treasury bill, which the average 6-month treasury bill was 5.2. This is the first time we've gotten that close to our benchmark, so we're really doing good. Our sweep account at Wells Fargo, which is municipal bonds, is really doing good. It gets about 5%. The city CD also renewed at First Financial Bank in August at 3.15%. And so far this fiscal year, the city has earned 1.3 million. If y'all remember, not too many years ago, we had 0.
Right.
So, we're really taking advantage of all that we can, and we keep eye on that interest rate to see if we need to make any adjustments.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Hennigan, second by Mr. Childs. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And I myself. E, consider a motion approving the newly created position of Deputy Director of Finance position for the Finance Department at job grade 33. Exempt position with starting pay of $32.33 per hour, plus incentives as eligible and standard employee benefits. Mr. Kenneth.
Council, our other departments, most of those have a specific deputy director. In the finance department, which Cheryl Zito is the director, she has 3 individual departments: finance, municipal court, and the customer utilities. They each have a division manager, if you will, but it doesn't have a true deputy director. And then just in our discussions and the things that I have seen, Sarah Hunter, who's the account manager, she's really the person everybody goes to, including myself when Cheryl's not around, to assist Cheryl over all 3 of those departments in various city things. So to recognize the extra work and responsibility that she's taken on. And then also, in Cheryl's absence, we all know who to go to. We recommend creating this deputy director position. We are not going to backfill the accounting manager position. She still has to do all that, but this is just something so we can kind of reward her and recognize what she's actually doing.
Absolutely. Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Hennigan, second by Ms. McKenna. Mrs. McKenna?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And I myself. F, consider a motion affirming the Deputy Director of Planning and Community Development is a job grade 33.
So in researching the creation of the deputy director for finance, I said, well, we just did this back in the spring. We created in Kelvin's Department of Community Development and Planning a deputy director. So I'm looking at it and like, what? We said 32, job grade 32, but we're paying the person as a job grade 33, and that was always the intent. And again, they're making the pay, they're doing the job. So the only thing different is just so if one day down the road, somebody says, hey, it's supposed to be a job grade 32, because there are other job grade 32s that this person has to supervise in that department.
Right.
So they need to be a job grade 33. That was my mistake, typo. But again, the person's already getting paid at job grade 33. This is just so we have it in the minutes, if someone ever questions it down the road.
Okay, any questions? I have a motion. Motion by Mr. Bailey,
Second.
second by Mrs. Hennigan, Ms. McKenna.
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey? And I myself. G, consider a motion canceling the November 28, 2023 and December 26, 2023 regular city meetings. Mr. Pence?
Again, traditionally, we cancel the second meetings of November and December because of it's so close to the holidays. Unfortunately, we will need that very short meeting next Tuesday just to approve the final reading that second,
Okay.
that ordinance. But typically, we cancel those.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Hennigan, second by Mr. Bailey, Ms. McKenna.
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
And I myself. Number 11, reports, city manager.
Again, I already mentioned the special call meeting Tuesday, November 21st at 9 a.m. here in the chamber. And then again, as I mentioned, next week is is Thanksgiving, so the Thanksgiving holiday the city observes will be Thursday and Friday. So city offices will be closed for those, of course, police, fire, and hopefully nobody from water and sewer has to go out. That'll be the 23rd.
Okay.
That's all right.
All right, moving on to city council reports, Mr. Bailey? Ms. Hennigan?
No report.
Mr. Childs?
No report.
Ms. McKenna?
Happy Thanksgiving, have lots of food, fun, and family.
Yes. And I have no report. Okay, number 12, adjourn to close executive session. Do Do I read all
All
of these?
read them all.
Okay. A, deliberation with city attorney pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. 1, deliberation with legal counsel pursuant to Texas Government Code section 551071, consultation with city attorney regarding Raymond Henderson versus City of Orange. 2, deliberation with legal counsel pursuant to Texas Government Code section 551.071, consultation with city attorney regarding Rainey versus City of Orange. 3, deliberation with legal counsel pursuant to Texas Government Code section 551.071, consultation with city attorney regarding Rojo versus City of Orange. 4, deliberation with legal counsel pursuant to Texas Government Code section 551.071, consultation with city attorney regarding property in the vicinity of the corner of West Campus Street and Moss Avenue, Orange, Texas. 5, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations pursuant to Texas Government Code section 551.087, regarding property in the vicinity of FM 105 to the south and Tulane Road to the north.
So again, if you're not part of city staff or council, we'd ask you to step out.
Well, Chief Oak,